What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we have a fresh report because Yuri Tielemans is targeted by Liverpool FC, and it looks like Tielemans also desperately wants to sign for Liverpool, and we have new reports coming from Belgium, so I will tell you all the details that you need to know. But first, if you enjoyed these videos, leave a like, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news updates. And of course, at the end of May we already reported that Liverpool are targeting Wijnaldum's replacement, Yuri Tielemans, according to many Belgian newspapers. But now new claims coming from Belgium say that Tielemans is very keen on moving to Liverpool, and if Liverpool were come with a transfer offer, he would be heavily interested in a move because Leicester missed out on Champions League football. His contract runs until 2023, so Leicester are under no immediate pressure to sell him. He still has 2 years left on his contract, so probably because he's one of Leicester's best players. He scored 9 goals in 51 games last season. Of course he will cost a lot of money, but if Liverpool can sell a lot of deadwood players, a lot of players who have been out on loan and a lot of players who haven't been training regularly for Liverpool, then Liverpool could easily generate the money for Tielemans. And Belgian outlet Het Nieuwsblad have reported that Tielemans is very high on Liverpool's list of potential Wijnaldum replacements. Yves Bissouma is another one, but it looks like Tielemans is at the top of this list of potential Wijnaldum replacements. So let me know, what do you think about that? And also the report claims that Yuri Tielemans was so emotional after Leicester City's last game of the season when they lost against Tottenham after leading 2-1, that because Tielemans believes that he has played his last match for Leicester City. The report also states that Tielemans has ambitions to play at a club with larger ambitions than Leicester City, because Leicester missed out twice on the last day of the season from Champions League football. They missed out on the Champions League football, they missed out on the top 4, and Tielemans probably wants to play for a club who can challenge not just for the top 4 but for the title and for the Champions League. He's more than good enough to play for a club like Liverpool, and as a Wijnaldum replacement, I think he would be an absolute perfect signing. It all depends on the price, and it all depends on how many players Liverpool can sell in order to fund transfers like Tielemans, like potentially Patson Daka. And Tielemans has scored regularly for Leicester City. He has 17 goals in 108 games, and Tielemans, even though he's just 24 years old, if I'm not mistaken, yes, he's 24 years old, he already played 358 games and scored 58 goals, which is an absolutely incredible number. At 24 to play more than 350 games is really a testament to the fitness and reliability of Tielemans. He's similar to Wijnaldum in that respect. Wijnaldum also played a lot of games, and Tielemans is already a Belgium international. He played 39 games for Belgium, scoring 4 goals, and I will watch the Euros with interest. And I'm so happy to report to you guys that I got tickets to all 3 of Hungary's games in the Euros. I'm super excited. I've never seen a Euro or a World Cup game in person. This has been a lifelong dream. I've been loving football since I was 2 years old, and I finally managed to get tickets for the Hungary-Portugal, the Hungary-France, and the Germany-Hungary game, which is going to be played in Munich, but the first 2 games is just 3 kilometers away from me in the beautiful Puskás Arena, and I cannot wait to go there. And it will be a fully packed stadium, and I'm really looking forward to this. I'm already fully vaccinated. I got 2 of my vaccine shots 1 month ago, so I'm okay. And football pundit Kevin Campbell, the former Everton striker, has actually said that Tielemans would be a perfect signing, a brilliant signing for Liverpool. He said this: "I think Tielemans would fit in at Liverpool perfectly. He will add more of a goal threat as well, especially from range, something that not many of Liverpool's midfielders currently have. He's a very good footballer, and he would be very capable of filling the void left by Wijnaldum. Listen, when you are Liverpool and you lose a player like Wijnaldum, you will have to replace him with quality, and Wijnaldum is so underrated. But when he's not there, Liverpool will miss him. Jurgen Klopp will buy right though. He knows what he needs, and he will purchase correctly, and I'm really excited by this about this transfer window. I think the Euros complicates things a little bit because players like to focus on the international tournament first, and probably after the Euros we will start seeing more and more transfers being completed. During the Euros, I don't think players like to negotiate. Of course, the agents will negotiate on their behalf, but I don't think players are a big fan of making transfers during the Euros. And also, Belgian football journalist Sven Klaes has revealed the latest on Tielemans' future. He said it will be a very difficult decision for Tielemans. The tears speak for themselves after receiving the Player of the Season award 2 weeks ago. He was in tears after Leicester's last game. When he will play a good Euros, I expect him to be leaving Leicester. Yes, he is ready for a new challenge, the next step in his career, and I also believe that he will make a move. It's an absolute talent with an excellent mentality on and off the pitch. A lot of clubs like Liverpool, Man United and Spanish top teams already want him. He had it difficult in the past at AS Monaco, but at Leicester everyone saw his real qualities again. I think we will hear soon more about his future. The transfer fee, Leicester paid 45 million euros, which is 38 million pounds in 2019 for Tielemans. So I guess he's now worth around 56 million pounds. Do you think Liverpool should pay that amount for Tielemans? Let me know in the comments below. It all depends. If we can sell 5 or 6 players for around 70-80 million, then that more than pays for the Tielemans transfer. And what is pretty remarkable about Tielemans is that he is a footballing machine, similarly to Wijnaldum. He almost never misses a game. I mean, playing 358 games as a 24-year-old up until now in his career speaks volumes. He missed just 1 league match in the last 2 seasons, and he has appeared in at least 27 league games every year since he made his professional debut at Anderlecht at just 16 years old in the 2013-14 season. And he is very versatile, another strength which would endear him to Jurgen Klopp. If anything, Henderson might be a better point of comparison because the Liverpool captain's title-winning efforts in centre midfield last season are one of the best statistical matches to what Tielemans provided Leicester this season. They certainly had something in common this season as well. Only 3 players in England completed more passes into the final third than Tielemans. Though as he only missed 63 minutes of the Premier League, he had an advantage in that sense. But Tielemans still fares well on a per 90 minutes played basis, ranking 16th in the Premier League among players with at least 1,700 minutes, and 12th if you're only looking at midfielders. And the top 2 in terms of completed passes in the final third per 90 minutes in the Premier League, Henderson and Thiago, absolutely brilliant. I love that. And Tielemans was also ranked 10th in the Premier League for pressure success rate this season, just 0.2% behind Wijnaldum, so he's very similar player to Wijnaldum in that sense as well, and he looks to have the ball retention skills of Wijnaldum as well. He can keep the ball in tight corners when put under pressure, and that's reflected in the statistics. 20 players in the Premier League attempted at least 1,800 live passes this season, and only 5 made a higher proportion of them while being pressed by opponents. If Liverpool do sign a midfielder this summer, it will be natural to assume that the man in question will be brought in to take Wijnaldum's place, and while Tielemans can fulfill that role, he also has the skills to offer facets of the game of some of their other midfielders too, with his impressive record of availability that could prove all important. But there is a good argument that Liverpool already replaced Wijnaldum with Thiago, and Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago will be probably Liverpool's starting midfield next season. The big question is Tielemans the answer to Liverpool's problem of lacking goals from midfield? And Liverpool probably need a different attacking midfield option off the bench who can come in when or if Henderson and Thiago and other players are not getting the job done, and score some goals, create some goals. Somebody who is more similar to Philippe Coutinho in that he can make something out of nothing, make it happen with creativity, with long range goals. Tielemans can do that, but not as effectively and as often as a Coutinho type of player. And if we spend 50 million on a midfielder, I would want to sign a player who would score 15-20 goals regularly. But that's very difficult to pick out from the current midfielders. Who do Liverpool go for? And it looks like Wijnaldum will not go to Barcelona because Paris Saint-Germain counter-offered, and they are offering almost double the wages that Barcelona have offered. Barcelona are in big financial difficulty, and Paris Saint-Germain basically came in at the last minute and offered Wijnaldum a huge contract worth around 200 to 250k weekly wages, and something that Liverpool weren't willing to give Wijnaldum. And you can kind of understand that Wijnaldum wants to create generational wealth. He wants even his family to not have any financial problems throughout their lives. This last contract is basically Wijnaldum's last big chance to earn some huge amount of money, and he will definitely get that at Paris Saint-Germain. So good luck to him, and I really hope that he wins all the trophies in France, but not in the Champions League. I want Liverpool, of course, to win the Champions League next season. And it looks like one man who is key to Wijnaldum's decision to go to Paris Saint-Germain is their manager, Mauricio Pochettino, because Wijnaldum spoke about almost signing for Tottenham before Liverpool turned his head. He said a few years ago, "I went to Mauricio Pochettino's house before I spoke to Liverpool. After the meeting, I told my agent I'm going to join Spurs. I saw Spurs as being a very good fit for me, but we were unable to agree financial terms with them." And then the rest is history. Jurgen Klopp came in, Liverpool signed Wijnaldum, Wijnaldum became a Liverpool legend, and now Mauricio Pochettino could work with Wijnaldum finally after that failed Tottenham transfer. And there are some reports coming from West Ham that they are interested in Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but also the reports say Liverpool want to keep the Ox, and their stance will only change if Oxlade-Chamberlain personally asks to leave Liverpool. And Liverpool surely cannot afford to let another midfielder go after already losing Wijnaldum, because there is limited depth in midfield after, of course, Wijnaldum going to Paris Saint-Germain. And according to many Liverpool fans, a number of Liverpool midfielders have struggled with injuries throughout the season, and compounded with the loss of Wijnaldum, Liverpool should be looking to sign another player in the middle of the park, like Tielemans, instead of selling another one. The only player that I would sell who is in and around the first team is Naby Keita. I think we could get some serious money for Naby Keita, and I personally have already given up on him in terms of his fitness. I love him as a player, but if we could get 35 million for Naby Keita, that would be an absolute great deal, because he's never fit, he's never getting a run of games, and even when he is fit, he's not a regular starter. And can Liverpool afford to have a 35 million pound player just sitting on the bench? We are not Man City. I'm not sure we can afford to do that. And I absolutely love this Arsene Wenger interview about Diogo Jota, because he, of course, analyzes the games for beIN Sports, and this is what he said. Portugal have Jota, who now plays for Liverpool, and he is a very convincing player. And he still has time on his hands. He will surely improve a lot. And I'm still pretty convinced, these are just my words now, not Wenger's, he will become a world-class player. The big question is, what will be his highest level? Will he be a goal scorer like Mo Salah, who can score 30 goals in 3 or 4 seasons in a row? Or will he be a Sadio Mane type of player who can score 20 goals regularly almost every season? Or will he just stay at this level where he scores 10, 15 goals every season? It also depends on how much he plays in the next 2 or 3 years, but I'm pretty convinced that he will become a world-class player. And Paul Robinson has predicted that Liverpool could sell Harry Wilson for as much as 15 million pounds. He said it's a very reasonable price for a very good young player. He had a great season at Cardiff, and I think there will be Premier League clubs looking to sign him now, because last season he played for Bournemouth and he scored more than 10 goals there in the Premier League. So I think he could still play for the Premier League easily. Liverpool will have to speculate to accumulate this summer, Paul Robinson continued. They need to sell players if they want to bring players in, and they need to freshen things up in a couple of positions, so it's important to sell players. There might even be a better price or a better deal to be done with Wilson. It's really sad that it hasn't worked out for him, but he's not probably on a level of a Liverpool. I can see him playing for a club like Newcastle or even some of the promoted clubs like Norwich, Watford, or even for a club like West Ham. I could see Harry Wilson playing there, but not at Liverpool. I think that level is just a little bit, tiny bit too high for him because he doesn't have the consistency to score regularly 5 to 10 goals every season, which is at least needed if you want to play in Liverpool's midfield as an attacking midfielder. And I think Harry Wilson is mainly that. But let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me in the comments below. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.